Well, it looks like Anthony Joshua is going to scrap the April 13th Wembley date. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Well, what do we have here? It looks like Anthony Joshua is likely to scrap the Wembley fight date. Now, you know, I seen this coming, but Anthony Joshua was, in my opinion, him and his team were just kind of arrogant in terms of making the Wilder fight. They thought they were the big fish in the pond, and when Wilder fought Tyson Fury, that really messed some things up. Now, you guys see, link in the description, ESPN has an article that says, Anthony Joshua very likely to scrap April Wembley bout. U.S. debut is more likely. Now, you know who the opponent is for the U.S.A. debut. It's not Wilder, it's not Tyson Fury. They're talking about JARRELL Big Baby Miller, and I think that's what it's looking like. Dillian White said he's out of the running. He's trying to line up his own fight, maybe in April, May-ish. We don't know. And I just feel like things are crumbling for Anthony Joshua, and it sucks because it really didn't have to be this way for Joshua's career. You see ESPN writing articles, you know, big boxing outlet, and it says Anthony Joshua is very likely to scrap the April Wembley bout. Now, this might not be big news. Some people are like, who cares? Get to the goddamn point, Ego. What's the big deal? I'm going to tell you the big deal. The big deal is the whole last year when he was negotiating with Wilder, you know, and beyond that, even when he fought Povetkin, after he beat Povetkin, Anthony Joshua in interviews repeatedly would just continually say, oh, have the date, April 13th. We have the date, you know. Oh, sign the contract, big boy. And he was saying that Wilder needed to sign, and we knew we wanted a big fight with Wilder because we booked the date and, you know, we booked the venue, and all he has to do is sign. And now that they're freezing Joshua out, you see Joshua is almost rendered powerless. He's having to go against his word. See, and that's the worst thing about what's happening here with Team Joshua, is because they're consistently and constantly having to backtrack, to switch it up. You know, say Eddie Hearn, for example, will say the fight with Wilder and Tyson Fury won't even happen. It's not even, you know, it's a pipe dream. I don't see that happening. I just talked to Tyson Fury a couple months ago, and he wanted tune-ups. No way he fights this powerful, you know, strong knockout artist and champion in Wilder. Then they announced the fight. Eddie Hearn said Tyson Fury is going to pull out with injury and so forth. The fight happens. Then he switches to saying, oh, it didn't sell 1 million though. You know, constantly moving the goalposts. Same thing with Joshua. I mean, this can't be good. And their plans have definitely been foiled when you see all the sudden changes. They said, Anthony Joshua, I have the audio. He specifically said he did not want to fight in America because then you have to deal with tricky referees and tricky judges and trickery. And for so long, UK fighters had to travel to America, and we got a good thing going in the UK, and we built this up. So I'm the guy with the most belts. Why shouldn't we continue to do what we built up? And I'm not really interested in America. I don't have to go to America to fight. Wompty, right? Now, fast forward to the future, he's talking about not only coming to America like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, but he's talking about fighting there and fighting somebody who, is a wild card. We haven't really seen Jarrell Big Baby Miller in a fight that big, and we haven't seen him fight for a title, so we really don't know. Dillian Whyte, we haven't seen him fight for a title, but we know he has history with Joshua at least, and he had I think a stronger 2018, so we at least know what type of fight he gives Joshua. Luis King Kong Ortiz is another name that Joshua mentioned, and now I didn't hear anything about that fight potentially happen, offers being sent, etc. And Luis Ortiz should be a viable option, and we at least have seen him fight for a title. He fought Deontay Wilder, so since Wilder is likely to fight Tyson Fury next, that would be, in my opinion, a good barometer test to, see where Joshua is at. And it's a fight that fans can get behind. Luis King Kong Ortiz has a cult following, and people respect his game. They know how hard of a fight it was for Wilder, so why not see Joshua in there with him? But no, there's uncharted territories in Jarrell Big Baby Miller. So it just, bottom line is, Joshua has had to go against what he said was the case. He said specifically he didn't want to come deal with American judges and refs, and $50 million he turned down. Everyone knows the story. I don't want to come to the UK or leave the UK. I want to stay in the UK and don't want to come to USA. And now he's talking about coming here after all of that for less money. It's just, this is not a good sign. And I think they're being knocked off their pivot by the moves of Deontay Wilder, namely, but also Tyson Fury, without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, anytime you have to constantly backtrack and regroup and say this, and then you're proven wrong, so you have to switch it up, it's not a good sign. Joshua said he didn't want to come here. Why not stay in the UK? Why not fight Dillian Whyte in the UK? That's what the long-standing rumors were. If Wilder wasn't busy, or if he was busy, then you would fight Dillian Whyte. Now, all of a sudden, Dillian Whyte, you're saying he's pricing himself out, and he did that interview in the hallway, and he really dropped a lot of the game behind the scenes. Like, they're not trying to pay nobody, and I know my worth, and, that I shopped deals. And Anthony Joshua, he said in recent interviews, doesn't want to take a risk in his opinion. So, they got some catching up to do. Now you have ESPN saying the date scrap. What happened to Eddie Hearn and Twitter? Eddie Hearn, I still have the tweet from him. He literally said, and please don't make me pull it out, that he was going to scale up Wembley to hold 100,000. Now all of a sudden, you're not even talking about fighting at Wembley for Joshua's next fight. So what was the point of telling the whole world that we have April 13th, we have the date and venue in the book, and Wilder needs to check his email if he wants the fight to sign? Why go against the game plan? Okay, cool, you can't get Wilder. Why not fight Dillian Whyte there? You said you're scaling to 100,000. It's because the reality is setting in. You don't have a 100,000 plus Wembley fight, and it wouldn't make sense to bring Jarrell Big Baby Miller to Wembley, a stadium that big, because the UK is getting tired of it too. So you're not going to just be able to sell them whatever. That's the real reason. Because if they, for a second, thought the fight would fill out Wembley, they wouldn't back off of that date. Because why would you? Joshua said he was comfortable there. He didn't have to worry about it. He keeps his training camp there. He doesn't have to acclimate, So it's very apparent that their plans got foiled, and they no longer have a fight that's desirable enough to even justify renting out a big-ass stadium like Wembley. Maybe that plus Jarrell Miller, last time I talked, or not last time, but one of the times I talked to him, he said he didn't want to travel to the UK. So that might have been another issue. He might still be like where he wasn't even willing to go, So all in all, just not a good look. Luis King Kong Ortiz, he said he was willing to fight Joshua. So he might be able to go to the UK, but you didn't even try to make that. So we know what's happening with Barry Hearns, Eddie Hearns, and Anthony Joshua. We see, and it's just sad because we're seeing the whole thing unfoil, and little by little, the empire is crumbling, and you're seeing the love be spread amongst other heavyweights, when before it was just Joshua carrying the torch. Let me know what you guys think. That's the latest. It looks like he's going to have to drop the date, and there's a reason they're dropping the date. I mean, ask the question. Why are they dropping the date? They kept saying we have the date, we have it booked and venues, and I seen flyers that said Anthony Joshua's coming home, Anthony Joshua's staying home, and Wembley. Why are you not keeping it now? That is the $1 million question. And I think the answer is simple, because things that have happened and transpired in the last year that they didn't account for. Just like when they got offered the $50 million, they didn't anticipate Al Heyman and Team Wilder coming up with that type of money. So AJ was comfortable saying, you notice since that moment, Anthony Joshua was doing a ton of IFL interviews where he's like, oh, 50 mil, it's mad. 50 mil, I'll take the fight. Tell Wilder's team, I'll take the fight tomorrow. He said all of that. And then after that, after Wilder called his bluff and offered the 50 mil, and Dillian White co-signed it, and Frank Warren co-signed it. Dillian White says, I talked to people in the know, I have sources. He said it to IFL, and the 50 million was real, you know. So please stop with the man fans and saying, oh, the money wasn't real and stuff, because the parties involved, Wilder just did a recent interview, said the money was real, and it's up to Joshua. Why don't you call his bluff? If you didn't think the money is real, show a receipt. Show that you contacted the bank or the investors and they said, oh, no, we was just playing, you know? And now all of a sudden, you know, here's where Joshua is. Having to come to America to build his American profile, something he said he didn't care about doing, really. And it's just a lot of backtracking, and you know, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.